Hello and welcome to day 2 of the Strategic HR Sprint. If this is the first episode you've come across, hello, I'm Faye Wallace. I'm a career and executive coach with a background in HR, and I specialise in creating resources and services to help HR professionals have successful and fulfilling careers. Over the course of this free 5-day sprint, we're spending around 10 to 15 minutes each day exploring practical ways to become more strategic and more confident about being strategic in HR. Each day includes a short HR Coffee Time podcast episode like this one, along with a worksheet and an optional AI prompt to help you put what you've learned into practice and to help you think more deeply. If you'd like to access today's worksheet and AI prompt or catch up on day 1, if you've missed it, you can find everything at brightskyhr.co.uk/sprint. I'll pop the link to that as well in the show notes and the YouTube description. Yesterday, we talked about Dr. Max McEwen, who shares that strategy is all about shaping the future. But of course, that raises an interesting question. How do you know what future you need to shape and work towards at work in your HR role? One of the things I've realised looking back on my own HR career before becoming a coach 10 years ago is that I spent lots of time looking inwards. I was always keen to learn as much as I could about HR. I wanted to understand best practice, learn from other HR professionals, and keep developing my knowledge. I also spent time getting to know the organisations I work for, understanding the different departments, the products, and the services that we offered, and how everything all fitted together. And of course, all of that was important. But with hindsight, I can see that there was something missing. I wasn't paying nearly enough attention to the context that the organisations I worked for were operating in. I really remember when I first started one of my HR roles, I was chatting to another parent at a children's birthday party. And when I told him where I was about to start working, he looked at me and said, "Well, let's hope you still have a job in 6 months' time. That's a tough sector to be in at the moment." And I was completely taken aback. I had no idea. I don't know if anything like this has ever happened to you, where you've had a real surprise because you've realised there's a gap in your knowledge that you hadn't known existed and was important. So if that has happened to you, please know you're not alone, and I absolutely know what that's like. A couple of years ago, someone recommended a book to me called HR from the Outside In by Dave Ulrich, John Younger, Wayne Brockbank, and Mike Ulrich. And as soon as I realised what the words outside in the title meant, the advice in the book really resonated with me. I could really see that that's something that had been missing for me in my HR career. In the book, the authors talk about this idea that strategic HR professionals don't just understand people and HR, they also understand the external context that their organisation is operating in. They understand the challenges their sector is facing, they understand the opportunities that are on the horizon, they understand how customer expectations are changing, they understand what's happening in the wider economy with technology, with skills, and with legislation. So, why does all of this matter though? Because of course, if strategy is about shaping the future, understanding the outside world helps you decide what that future needs to look like. It helps you to anticipate problems before they become problems. So, as an example, if your sector is changing rapidly because of AI, it may be that you need to start focusing on helping everyone upskill or develop different skills to what they've needed before. Or if recruiting certain skills is becoming increasingly difficult in your sector, you might want to start thinking about succession planning, about apprenticeships or internal development before all of these things become critical. If customer expectations are changing, that could influence the capabilities your organisation will need in the future. The earlier you understand what's changing outside of your organisation, the more time you have as an HR professional to help the organisation prepare. And that's what today's worksheet is all about. It's all about developing your outside in awareness. The worksheet that comes with this episode encourages you to think about how you can build a regular habit of understanding the context that your organization operates in. Because, of course, it's changing all the time, which is why it ideally needs to become a regular habit rather than just a one off thing that you do. And this regular habit could be a really little thing as well. It could be something like perhaps subscribing to an industry newsletter, or it might be that you start listening to a podcast about your sector, or you might decide to attend an industry event regularly, or you could follow sector experts on LinkedIn, spend 10 minutes each week reading industry news, or just have more conversations with other people about what is going on in your organization sector and what they're noticing, especially if they're particularly tapped into what's going on. The important thing is to just choose one or two ideas that feel realistic for you and decide on the first step you're going to take. And then, if you'd like to, you can use today's optional AI prompt. I think this might be my favourite prompt from the challenge, so I really hope you enjoy using it if you do decide to give it a try. When I tested it out, I found the results really interesting. You'll find the AI prompt in the daily email from me that I'll send you once you've signed up to this free sprint. If you haven't signed up already, you can do this for free at brightskyhr.co.uk/sprint. And then all you have to do is copy and paste the prompt that I'll share with you into your favourite AI tool. Of course, as I mentioned yesterday, please be careful not to share anything sensitive or confidential when you're putting things into AI tools. I think it's quite unlikely you'll do that with this particular prompt, but I know it's really important to always be mindful of this. So whether you're using ChatGPT or Claude or Copilot or Gemini or whatever AI chat it is that you're using, when you put that prompt in, you will get out a precise, concise executive summary that tells you about the biggest challenges, the biggest opportunities, and the emerging trends that are happening at the moment. And it will also give you the implications for you as an HR professional. It's a great way to build your understanding quickly, and it might even introduce you to issues you hadn't been aware of. I know it did with me when I tried it, or things that you just hadn't thought about before, but you've realised are really interesting and helpful. So my hope is that from today, you're going to have built a habit of becoming more curious about the world that your organisation operates in, and that you're going to feel better equipped to ask thoughtful questions, spot opportunities, and anticipate challenges, and help shape the future of your organisation. As always, I would love to hear how you get on. If you're watching on YouTube, please do leave a comment underneath the video to share what you enjoyed or found helpful or interesting about today's episode or the activities that come with it. It's always so brilliant to see comments there, and I promise I always reply to them. Or if you're getting the daily emails from me that go with this sprint and you're listening to the audio version of it, you're very welcome. Please do hit reply and let me know on there too. And of course, if you decide to share a post on LinkedIn about the sprint, do tag me in so I can support the post. It would be great to see how you are getting on with the sprint and how you're finding it. Tomorrow, we're going to take everything we've covered so far and start applying it to your own work. I'll show you a simple way to identify the issues that are likely to matter most within your organisation so you can focus your time and energy where you'll have the greatest strategic impact. I hope you enjoyed today's activities, and I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Goodbye for now.